Hey there. I want to chat just real briefly about social media and our emotions. There are some stats that showed before this mess that social media participants were spending about 2.5 hours on social media every day. And that was an average, so many of us were spending more than that. Now the stats show that that's more than doubled since so many of us are at home more longer periods of time, more often, more frequently, and getting a little stir crazy. So we're filling the time with social media in some cases. So 5+ hours for some of us. Now I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a brain expert. I'm not really an expert at anything, but it doesn't take an expert to know that our emotions right now are they're high. Our stress level is high. We've got a myriad of emotions that we are not used to dealing with or maybe have never dealt with before. Stress level that's different than we've dealt with before. Um, and that's going to impact how we deal with things. We have less capacity for managing our emotions and making sure that they're filtered out in a productive way now than we've had before. Our brain processes what we see and hear differently right now. Um, we're interpreting things differently. We're taking things more personally. We're being more reactive. Um, and in sensitive times like this, the slightest thing can set somebody off, and misinterpretation is it's rampant. It's far more likely to happen in times like now than it is in other times, and nothing seems straightforward right now. So, with more of us on social media, that means more of your posts are being seen by more people because of the way it's feeding through. Um, and it's really important for us to remember that once it's out there, we can't take it back. I personally think we all should be extremely careful right now what we're posting on social media. I understand the need for voicing your frustrations and getting your frustrations out and venting. Keeping things bottled up isn't good for us. I get it. However, it only takes one post or one comment to irreparably harm your personal brand or your reputation or the reputation of the organization that you represent. Now, you can tell yourself all day long that it's your page and it's not associated with your company. That's not true. Your friends and followers are not going to draw a hard line between your personal page and your company page or your business post. It doesn't work like that. It's not compartmentalized like that in our brain when we process, especially right now. Most won't separate what they know about you from what they know about your organization or the company you represent. So even when we shift into the next chapter, and to be clear, we're not going back to normal. We're going to shift into another chapter. When we shift into that next chapter, those that have felt disrespected or condescended or belittled or hurt by something that you've posted, they're not going to magically forget that because those the disrespect or the offense or the hurt that is being caused out there is mixed in with all these other emotions. That's going to leave this wound, this coronavirus wound, open in a lot of us for a long time. So as soon as we shift to the next chapter, people aren't just going to magically forget everything that happened and forgive and move on. It's not going to happen that way. You may feel like you have the right to say anything you want to on social media. Maybe you do. There are some that think that if you don't voice your opinion against something or speak out against something, that you're condoning or accepting it. Okay, that could be true in some cases. But here's the thing. Just like verbal words, even more so because they're in black and white, we can't take it back once it's out there. So having those opinionated conversations within your circle of friends, your circle of friends and loved ones or your tribe, that's different than having them in a public social media forum. Even if your post and you've got your privacy settings set in such a way, they're still going to be out there. They still could get out there in other ways, in a broader way than you intended. Now, I posted a quote from Maya Angelou with this video, and I don't think when she made that quote that she was thinking that it would apply to social media, but I think it absolutely should. People will remember how your post made them feel well after this crisis is over. So I think we should consider carefully what we want to be remembered for when we shift into the next chapter.